Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris and let's break down this trailer for Us. So Us is the next horror installment by Jordan Peele. We all know him for making Get Out, which is a horror masterpiece in my opinion. And with his follow-up Us coming out in the next year and him just giving us a poster and a trailer, there's a lot to go off here and I see a lot of people confused about it. So I want to go ahead and explain the trailer for you, break it down, and give you hints at what might be coming in this movie. Also remember there might be a few things I miss or I might not be completely right on my theories, but in the end that's the fun of speculation, and when we get the movie, we'll know what it's about. Be sure to comment down below your theories and speculation about what you think is going on in this movie. But breaking down into it, we start off this trailer with the family in the car. Now it's going to revolve around these four characters throughout the film. And they're headed on vacation to a little beach area, and the father is singing a song, I've Got Five on It. Jordan Peele did explain that the song is significant because it does take place in Northern California. It's in the Bay Area, and that's a hip-hop classic in that area. But at the same time, he wanted to give a relatability to these parents that a song you used to love and enjoy is now inappropriate for your family setting, which is why the father goes on to lie to his son when he asks, what does five on it mean? The daughter tells him obviously it's about drugs, we all know that's a fact, and the father says no, it's not, just enjoy it, it's a dope song. It deals with that duality of a double meaning in the characters. We obviously know it's a song about drugs, but now being a father in his different setting and lifestyle, he compresses that information to his child, giving it a double meaning. And this movie is going to be all about double meanings, having these doppelgangers in this film. Another quick thing to point out here, we see the son is wearing a Jaws t-shirt. He also has a werewolf man mask on, and later in the trailer we get to see a little Lupita Nyong'o. But when we see her at her younger self, that she is wearing a Thriller shirt. Now Jordan Peele has explained to us that this is going to be a monster movie. It is a home invasion film, but to the heart of it he says that this is a creature feature, so it's more of a film about monsters, and I'm guessing that's what he means about the doppelgangers. So it was important to him to bring this imagery of other creature feature horror films like Jaws, The Werewolf Man, and that music video Thriller revolving around Michael Jackson turning into a monster, a werewolf. Another significant plot point is Lupita's character, who is named Adelaide in this film, is headed back to her childhood hometown. Now I mentioned earlier that in the trailer there's a younger version of herself, and that is her having her traumatic experience that'll haunt her the rest of her life, seeing her own doppelganger almost choke her to death. So she does have a vague recollection of this place, but thinks it all as a bad dream or something that didn't happen. But we all know slowly as she goes on through this day, she's gonna realize it did happen to her. And I think it is gonna be important to note that it happened to her once as a kid, and now it's happening to her again as an adult. The obvious horror critic in me says that don't tell me the twist is gonna be that they're switched, that the one that we're following is actually the doppelganger the entire time. I don't know. Now let's go into explaining these actual monsters in the movies, the doppelgangers. Now I'm gonna stop calling them doppelgangers at this point because Jordan Peele has now confirmed that these are gonna be called the Tethered. And honestly, I think that's a perfect name for these creatures or whatever they happen to be. Now if you don't know, the word tethered is usually used to describe when you're tied to something, or used to describe when you're tying an animal to something else. If you take that significant meaning, that the tethered are basically tied to their counterpart. And just like the mother character says in the movie, they know what we think, they know what we can do, and we even get the imagery of they copy exactly what the child is doing in one scene. I think that's going to be significantly important in this movie. Further explaining what they are though, is they do have a characteristic tied to themselves that's opposite to their counterpart. If we look at going first towards the child, now we know he has a werewolf mask on, and it looks from the beginning of the trailer, he's the kid at that age who asks a lot of questions, wants to know what everything is. We look at his counterpart, he also has a mask, a white mask, but when we reveal a look at his face, his mouth is gone. It's nowhere to be found, either burned off or sewed together. And that's the counterpart to him, one that talks a lot, one that doesn't talk a lot. If we look at the daughter character, we can obviously tell she's at that age where she's very vain, where her appearance and social status is something important to her, and when we look at her counterpart, it is something that doesn't even have eyebrows. It is something that is almost horrendous to look at, which is again a counterpart to her original self. Looking at the mother, since we know she went through a traumatic experience as a child, she must be growing up not always as a positive person. As we see, she barely even smiles in this trailer. So to get a counterpart that is all the time happy, that comes off so creepy, is just an example of what she is. And same thing with the father. He looks like he's always to be the one making the dad jokes, making all the silly gags, trying to be the life of the family. And we look at his counterpart and he's just angry all the time. And I mean, it makes sense to me, even the way he was holding that bat and trying to threaten these people before he knew what he was, it did come off sort of goofy and Urkel-like. So I think his counterpart is more of a tough man. The symbolism that the golden scissors represent to me, and that are going to represent throughout the film, I believe are going to be the tools used to cut open their counterparts and become one with them. We see each one of these tethered have a pair of scissors, and they're going after their counterpart with them. them. I think in the end, that's their ultimate goal, is just to become one person. Whether that means cutting them up, or like we see in this quick shot of the film, something of like a leather face where you cut off the face and put it on the other person as sort of a mask. There also are quite a few imageries of bunnies in this film. We see the daughter at one point having a shirt with a bunny on it. We see the bunnies throughout the trailer, and we also see a bunny in this final shot, a silhouette of it in that Rorschach painting. To me, the bunnies more symbolize magic. It's a common magic trick when you pull a rabbit out of a hat, and I think it's going to work in that same way, that in the end, these monsters are magic. That whatever is behind it, or whoever is behind it, is pulling some sort of magic ritual on these people. In the end, I'm super excited for this movie. I can't wait to dive into it when it comes out. If you guys have speculation or other things you want to bring into my theories, go ahead. Or if you think I'm completely wrong, also go ahead and let me know. I'm willing to discuss and talk with you guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. I talk anything and everything movie related on this channel. Also follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.